The Newlywed Game, Season 1, Episode 3. Confessions and Claims, a Narrative Episode Summary. Chapter 1. Mid-century romance under the lights. The ambient hum of mid-1960s broadcast equipment filled ABC's studio stage as host Bob Eubanks stepped up to the podium for the third installment of The Newlywed Game. Airing during the summer of 1966, the show was rapidly establishing itself as a daytime television sensation. For young, newly married couples sat in their vibrant studio perches, eager to test the depth of their domestic familiarity and romantic synchronization. Eubanks, with his signature youthful charm and sharp comedic timing, welcomed the audience before explaining the high-stakes reward awaiting the day's ultimate winners: a gleaming set of modern kitchen appliances and an all-expenses-paid weekend getaway to a luxury resort. With the introductions complete, the game officially commenced, setting off another round of humorous confessions and unexpected marital revelations. Chapter 2. The Rules of Engagement. The competition followed its established two-round structure, testing how accurately each partner could predict their spouse's thoughts and memories. Round 1. The four husbands were ushered off the stage into a soundproof isolation booth. Their wives remained on stage with Bob Eubanks to answer 3 probing questions about their husbands' quirks, romantic gestures, and personal habits. Every matching answer was worth 5 points. Round 2. The wives were sent into the isolation booth, and the husbands returned to the stage to predict their wives' answers to the exact same questions. In this round, point values doubled to 10 points per match, keeping every couple in contention until the final moments. Chapter 3. Wives on the Spot. With the husbands sealed away in the isolation booth, Eubanks turned to the 4 young wives to kick off round 1. He began with a playful question probing the dynamic of authority in their home. What is the one thing your husband thinks he is the absolute boss of in your household? The responses immediately showcased the charming, light-hearted reality of 1960s married life. The first wife quickly declared that her husband considered himself the indisputable master of the television dial and the living room armchair. The second wife laughed, stating her spouse insisted on having the final, absolute say over how the front lawn was manicured. The third and fourth wives offered candid, affectionate answers, pointing to their husbands' strict control over the household budget and car maintenance. Eubanks then shifted to a more intimate topic, asking the wives to name the most unusual or embarrassing place their husbands had ever attempted to initiate a romantic kiss. The wives giggled nervously before sharing hilarious stories, ranging from crowded grocery store aisles to the middle of a busy family picnic, setting a colorful baseline of answers for their spouses to match. Chapter 4. The Husbands Return. The stage door opened, and the 4 husbands emerged from the isolation booth, unaware of the playful secrets their wives had just shared. Taking their seats next to Eubanks, the men faced the first set of predictions. When asked what he thought he was the absolute boss of at home, the second husband confidently proclaimed, "My lawn. Nobody touches the lawnmower except me." His wife stepped out, revealed her matching card reading "the lawn," and the couple picked up their first 5 points to a round of applause. However, the question regarding romantic gestures proved to be a minefield. The first husband guessed that his most unusual kissing spot was at a drive-in movie theater, missing his wife's answer of "in front of her mother's kitchen window." Another husband accidentally revealed an entirely different embarrassing story than the one his wife had written down, causing lighthearted groans from the panel and laughter from the live studio audience. Chapter 5. The 10-point Escalation. With the arrival of round 2, the stakes doubled to 10 points per question. The wives were sent into isolation, and Eubanks presented the husbands with deep, memory-based questions about their early courtship and wedding day. The decisive question focused on their very first major argument as a married couple. What was the exact subject of the first fight you and your wife had after saying "I do"? The husbands hesitated, carefully weighing their memories. One husband recalled a disagreement over how much money he had spent on a new set of golf clubs shortly after the honeymoon. The quietest husband on the panel calmly stated that their first argument was about his wife's insistence on bringing her family's dog along on their weekend road trip. When the wives returned to the stage to reveal their answers, the scoreboard shifted dramatically. The husband who cited the golf clubs matched his wife's card perfectly, scoring 10 vital points and pushing their couple into a narrow lead. Chapter 6: The Final Verdict. As the final round reached its climax, two couples were neck and neck for the championship. The outcome came down to a final, decisive tiebreaker question delivered by Eubanks, estimating the exact number of guests who had attended their wedding reception. The lead couple wrote down their guess on their slate cards. When the wife was brought back to give her answer, she stated with complete conviction, 150 guests. Her husband flipped his card to reveal the exact same figure, 150. A loud chime echoed through the studio as the audience erupted into enthusiastic applause. The young couple embraced joyfully at center stage, having secured victory through their sharp shared memory and strong bond. Chapter 7: Legacy of the Game. Bob Eubanks presented the winning couple with their grand prize trophy, along with the keys to their new household appliances and documentation for their resort vacation. The remaining couples warmly congratulated the victors as the closing music swelled. Episode 3 demonstrated the emerging magic of the Newlywed Game, its unique ability to combine genuine, heartfelt affection with unpredictable, unscripted domestic humor. It was a winning television recipe that continued to captivate daytime audiences across America.